Israel is now entering a new stage after the agreement that it had with Hamas. And that stage is to try to implement a commission of inquiry to, according to them, to find out what was the failure in what they call the concept. What they mean is, what was the concept that led to the technical failure of October 7? The failure is not in the concept. There is always going to be a technical failure. It is impossible to keep people under occupation and to expect them to remain so without erupting every once in a while in order to get their liberation, their freedom. It's impossible. The idea of having a commission of inquiry to check how to improve the technical ability of Israel to continue with the occupation by itself is a failure. Israel is incapable of checking or inquiring about the real failure. And the real failure is the creation of a Jewish state. That's the real failure. Ever since the creation of a Jewish state, the area of Israel-Palestine has been in constant violence, severe violence. And it is all related to the creation of a Jewish state because the Palestinians, rightly so, are not willing to accept a Jewish state and are not willing to accept the expulsion of the Palestinians as if nothing happened. And they're not willing to accept the occupation and the apartheid. And Israel is incapable of dealing with those issues. Therefore, it is resorting to pretend that everything is okay, except that there was a failure, a technical failure, what they call the conceptual failure. No, the failure is in the creation of a Jewish state. But Israel is incapable of admitting that the Jewish state is a failure. It is incapable of admitting that all the wars would have been probably not necessary if we had a democracy with equality, Palestinians and Israelis, based on a secular democracy, secular principles, with a constitution. Israel is incapable of admitting the real mistake. Inquiring into the technical mistake is an attempt to validate the conceptual mistake. The real conceptual mistake is the Jewish state, and inquiring as to how we can prevent further technical error is designed, or will have the consequences of making Israeli Jews and many other supporters of Israeli Jews to believe that they could somehow continue with the occupation, with the apartheid, with ignoring the real issue, which is the expulsion of the Palestinians, only if they correct the technical mistake. That idea in itself is the mistake. The failure to look into the real issue in Israel-Palestine. Now, I realize the emotional attachment that Israelis have to the idea of a Jewish state, that they are incapable of detaching themselves from that idea, that they are incapable because it's been inculcated upon us to believe that a Jewish state is necessary, that it would give protection to the Jews, even when we see the reality, which is opposite to what we were led to believe. I realize that Israelis cannot admit that all their losses for creating a Jewish state were in vain, that they were actually perpetrating the idea of a Jewish state that is harmful to the Jewish people. A Jewish state, let's just be clear, can never be democratic, especially in Israel-Palestine, because it precludes the Palestinians from being equal citizens. And you cannot have, under any circumstances, a group of people that is under occupation, apartheid, willing to continue on. No matter how many commissions of inquiries you create, the people that are in prison will always be wanting to get out of prison. And they will always be smarter than the prisoners because they have a much greater desire. Israel created the trajectory of a religious war by creating a Jewish state. And that trajectory is a danger. It's a danger for the future. It was a danger in the past, but will continue to be a danger in the future. I am proposing a federal government for the people of Israel and Palestine based on constitutional, democratic principle with separation between government and religion. I am not proposing the dismantlement of the Jewish state of Israel or the government of Israel. I am calling for a federal government that will be equal to the Palestinians and Israelis, who will have the equal legitimacy to represent the people and the equal responsibility to deliver for the people of Israel and Palestine. Thank you.